Come on, people. Let's go, StreamYard. Look at that. Neil, good morning, everybody. Not me. Program issues. Good morning. I'm Huck. Welcome to the Morning Mug. I am your host. Welcome, welcome. My goodness, it's been a good week. Looking forward to talking about all the good stuff that we love, box office and movie news and new releases, all that good jazz. And most importantly, we got a franchise return of Scream coming up this Friday that I'm super pumped to talk about. Not only that, near the end of the show we get to play a little this or that with you guys chiming in, but wait until then because they'll get buried in the comments and I will lose track of them. So when the time comes, have your this versus that ready to go. It could be anything, man. It could be franchises, characters, TV shows, TV characters, food items, soft drinks. Who knows? You guys are creative. I look forward to seeing what you got. But in the meantime, you know the drill. For this morning, you gotta first you gotta grab your drink, and then what you gotta grab up your snack. That's right, you gotta grab your snack. So why you gotta do that? Because it's time for the morning mug. That's right, it's time for the morning mug. Let's go. Good luck, Bob. Doop, doop, doop. Here it comes. It's working very slow today, so you just got to give it a little second here. It's coming. It'll be halfway through the intro by the time it loads. Ready? There it is. No sound. We're looking good. No sound whatsoever. Hey, my friends. Welcome back to the Morning Mug. Now, let's chat. Oh, God. StreamYard, you suck. Look, I'm convinced that they're putting algorithms into the program on the free version so that things like this just don't work the way you want them to. No fault of me or Bob. We're doing it. This is all StreamYard giving you the glorious picture perfect goodness. I know if KB's out there. I gotta switch programs. I just don't have time to play with it yet. But as soon as I do, man, I'm ditching this thing. I'm actually trying to get rid of that old file so it doesn't play accidentally. It's not even letting me do that. But in the meantime, y'all, it is time to get flashy here and show you some morning mug. Greetings and welcome. Bob, hit the ticker. Bam, there we go. Nice golden color, morning show. The sun shines out. That's why we choose that nice yellow color. How you guys doing, man? I'm doing well. How do I look? How do I sound? That old thing. So, but here we go. Let's go into the cafe as you guys are already there. The door swings open and there's Dave. Good morning. Movie Hunter's here. Mr. Moody's chilling at the table. It's a big old round table, y'all. Make room for Movie Hunter. Everybody's coming in. Adrian James, give that guy some space. He's coming from England, Pull him up a chair. Mama Blu-ray got to be sitting at the other. She's at the head of the table. Got the queen up there. How are you, my dear? Got your coffee and waiting for Scream. Look, I cannot wait to talk about Scream coming up. Yeah, by the way, I actually managed to pull out something more than cereal today. I made myself a couple of eggs and my iced tea here. So that was my drinking snack. But yes, oh, Bonnie, I can't wait to talk about that. Candace is here. Huck and Peeps. Yay, yay. Loving all this. Look at all you guys, early people coming in. How we doing? Are you all smashing that like button? I kind of feel like you are. I can't see it on this program, but I'm confident the like has been smashed. No more snow. That is glorious. I can only imagine how if you live in those snowy weather places, what a pain that's been. Our Steelbook crew buddies, Dave, Andrew, Tony, Mizzy, all those cats, Nick, they've been. Yeah, I just look at their videos and it just looks so cold, man. So cold. I just watched their recent video, y'all. It is so good. Go check out Durant Cinema's new video. I'm going to give them a shameless plug. It is hilarious, as always. But near the end, at about the 10-minute mark or whatever, they have a theme song, y'all. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's been in some other videos and I've missed it. But they got a theme song. The Steelbook crew, you think my little silly jingle is catchy? No, it's like a full-on band singing like Steelbook crew. It's awesome. So kudos on you guys having your own theme song. Well, thanks. Yeah. You got a beautiful day. I love that. Isn't it like always rainy? They always say it's always rains in England, I mean, whenever I was there over the summer, it didn't rain when I was there. It was nice. I don't know what people are talking about. Just go to England. There's plenty of sunshine. I really sound good. Thank you, Dave. You're at work getting yelled at by grumpy customers. Well, allow the old huckster to fill your ear holes with more positive glee than those cranky old customers. You know, like you could be listening, and while they're barking at you, you just start laughing because I'm saying silly things, and then they're like, "Huh, that guy's in a good mood despite my cranky attitude." Turn them around. That's right. Flip those frowns upside down. Did you know what happened to the BAFTA Awards? I did not. What happened at the BAFTA Awards? Did something come crashing down and land on somebody? Or did somebody crazy win the award that no one expected? Let me know. 3 likes. There's way more than 3 of you in here. Oh, come on, y'all. Smack them. Everybody in here should at least smack it. That'll give me, I don't know. I lost count. 7, 10. Yeah, you watched the BAFTAs. Adrian, what happened at the BAFTAs? I feel like I've missed something. Nice. Yeah, get out of here, Snow. I would be stoked for Scream if it wasn't for Spyglass Media Paramount. Can't get a spy ticket. I see that's not and hello cinema dependency. I get you, man. I think Paramount is just a greedy little bunch there with what's his name, David Ellison or something, just trying to grab onto Warner Brothers. But my thing is like, how about Paramount? Paramount's got like a great catalog of movies, and like, what are we doing with it? And where's your lineup that's supposed to be impressive? And being that I want to support all the artists who made this movie. You know, Paramount, whatever, they can do their own thing. They need to show that they've got stuff worth supporting. And I'm a huge Scream fan, so but we'll save a little bit of the chat coming up on that. But yeah, I'm gonna go just because that's my girl Courtney. You all know Courtney Cox. She's my jam. Mary, I'll tell you that. Yeah. So yeah, I hear you though, bro. I hear you. You got to make a stance once in a while and say, but yeah, I got to go, man. Right, Moody? Gotta go. Smack that like button. Get out of here. The BAFTAs was surprising. Dang, I missed something. Uh-oh. Oh, what happened, y'all? What was the surprising thing? It's not like a movie. You can spoil it. You can tell us who won awards. Who won? All right. My thing is, did Timothy Chalamet win or did somebody else win? That's all I want to know. Hey there, Mr. Moody. What's up, everyone? Van Gool, greetings, old chum. Good afternoon, Mr. James. Nikki is here as well. Good eye, Nikki. You see, you get the Australian accent for the morning. She feel very special. Hey, yeah, Nikki, Mr. Moody, and saying hello to Alex. All right, well, looky there. But yeah, so no one's chiming in. You guys have piqued my suspense. Am I gonna have to go Google what happened at the BAFTAs? Come on, you got to beat me to it. I'm Googling it right now. Surprises. Come on, anybody chiming in? Nope. At BAFTAs. I better put 2026. Really? All right. Well, okay. How did I miss you, Collector Movie Man? I had them all here. I don't. No. No. Just you said. Did you hear what happened? I don't see it, Dave. I just see. Do you hear what happened? I don't see it. If it's there, it's not here on my thing. That's the last thing I have going up is the snow has left Michigan. Yeah. No, I don't see it, Dave. It's not here, man. Did you hit enter, delete? I don't know. I don't see it. Swearing, Marty Supreme, Baptist 12 Big Snows, Baptist best and worst moments. I don't know. I don't know what I missed. I guess I'm gonna have to do a little digging after the show. You know. All right. Well, take you guys off then. If no one's gonna tell me the surprises. All right. Well, let's get to what's the first thing. Oh, here we go. Somebody's got some scoop to hear McKenna Grace. Oh yeah, I'm all about that. I think that's fantastic. But you know what? People love to go. You know, Jay, I'm stoked about that. Well, people on the internet, I saw instantly. You know, what is it? The girl that was hired to play the new Lara Croft. What's her name? I think she's from is it Game of Thrones or something like that? She's a great choice. Everyone was like, oh, she doesn't look like Lara Croft. I'm like, I think she looks a little bit more like Lara Croft than the last girl that played it. She was like such a tiny little person. I think she looked great. McKenna Grace, and I think she's going to be Daphne, right? I'm all in. I love Scooby-Doo, so let's go. Michael B. Jordan is co-stars from Sinners. We're presenting for Best Visual Effects, and this guy who was like a syndrome yell. Oh, what? Oh, damn. No bueno. I hope they hauled that dude's ass out of there. Yeah, that definitely didn't pop up before, by the way, Dave. Yeah, that was not on my screen. So, whoo, no bueno. Yeah, Mama Blu-ray, are you going to go see Scream 7? Yeah, Sophie Turner, thank you. I thought Sophie Turner looks fantastic as Lara Croft. But yeah, Bonnie, you and Sue going to go see Scream 7? It's hard to get you out. Oh, okay. I got you. Well, the good thing is that if you have the Paramount Plus, you'll be able to catch it once it gets dropped on their streaming service. It's pretty good. Don't slip. Come on now. That deserves a like. But yeah, man. So I have been plowing through all the Scream movies because I'm ready for Scream 7. I only have one more to go. Got to watch Scream 6. I watched 5 yesterday. I'll watch 6 tomorrow or Thursday. It gives me 2 days to watch it. And then I'm off. I can't go out on Friday because I'm working. But Saturday, I got to squeeze it in. Someday over the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, I will find the time. Yeah, it was Game of Thrones. Yep. I knew you'd know, Dave. So yeah, I think Sophie Turner looks fantastic in the role. A little costume they have her in, and who knows? That's probably not even like the finished costume. That's probably just a good costume they put her in to start doing promos. Why would people think Sophie Turner doesn't look like she looks fine? What is wrong with Sophie Turner in that outfit? Like honestly, like nothing. I don't know, because she's not Angelina Jolie, whose movies, by the way, were just okay. They didn't blow anybody away. So I'll see it on the streaming service. Everybody take a run with that. Yeah, man. Fire up that streaming service. But it has been a lot of fun talking about and watching Scream. I mean, just I love this franchise. I mean, people out there have their favorites, whether it's Jason, whether you got your Friday the 13th or your Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe you're a Chucky fan, maybe you're that Leprechaun dude out there. I don't know. But for me, as far as franchises go, now character-wise, I probably like Jason's probably my favorite character just because I kind of like the look and just you can't do anything to him. But I love the franchise of Scream probably amongst all of them more just because I kind of like it. It feels a little bit, well, I was about to say like the other franchises just copy paste themselves, but I guess Scream kind of does that too, but they try to find new ways to build upon it each time. And I even I even like Scream 3. I like Scream 4. I thought they were all the lowest rating I've given any of the Scream movies so far on Letterboxd is 3.5 stars. And that was Scream 3, which I thought was fine. It's the only Scream with actually one killer, which is interesting. But I like how they're okay, let's keep doing it at 2 because that's fun. Tonster's here. Tony, dude, you guys were so hilarious. You got to work on your people's eyebrow, bro. Come on. Yeah, the latest video when they went to Bull Moose, dude, it's just you guys have such a good time. I wish I was near you guys so I could come party with you, Bull Moose. And your new theme song, most righteous, bro, most tranquil. So yeah, just you got to tape it up, people's eyebrow. Go watch, you'll see. Tony's gonna work. He tries to give a slap of people's eyebrow at the camera. A bonnet. You're gonna buy a ticket on Friday for Project Hail Mary. You nice. Tony, love that vid. Yep, see, we're all fans. We're at 11. Okay, it's a little better. Thanks, brah. Yeah, saying hello to Nikki. But yeah, so Scream franchise, lowest rating I gave it was 3.5 stars. And they kind of just they're all good. There's not one I watch where I'm like, but there are ones in other franchises I've kind of seen and I probably won't revisit. Like personally, I wasn't a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. I think that's one where people either love it or hate it. I just, not that I hated it, I just was like, But then I saw like part 3 where it was like the Dream Warriors. Dude, that was so great. Like instantly love that. I think that was even directed by Rennie Harlan, aka Mr. Cliffhanger in Die Hard 2. And yeah, so I am primed and ready. As soon as I watch the last Scream 6 before Friday, I'm all set. I'm all set. You know, and that teases us up. This is a glorious, this whole week, by the way, when we get to the 52-week movie challenge and I talk about my pick, it's Courtney Cox week. And I did that on purpose so everybody could go out and see Scream 7 as their pick, or just stay at home and watch, I don't know, any other Scream movie, any other movie that Courtney's in. And we'll talk about my pick in just a little bit. But all right, so what should we do, y'all? What's fun? I mean, Tony's here, Bonnie's here. I say we just go for broke. All right, here we go. This is not going to play well, but wish Bob luck. Bob, go ahead and hit the button. Here it goes. Yeah, okay, it's going to take a while. This is going to suck today, y'all, but here we go.
What's Sue
There's no sound.
And these guys too.
Now the Steelbook Crew.
Tell him, Sue.
What's Sue gonna get? What's Sue gonna get?
I don't know, but hey, what's Sue gonna get?
This is glorious. This is great. Live TV, so good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should use this anymore today. It's just an epic failing across the board. Anyway, that's to show my love for the Steelbook Crew and Sue and all you cool cats out there that go hunting on a weekly basis or whenever you feel the need. But at this moment, again, I'm not trusting this working very well, but we're going to give it a go and see if it pops up and we can talk about it. Oh, no, here it comes. It's moving. Oh, okay. See how long it took to come up? All right, there it is. All right, we'll see how this goes. Maybe just sharing a tab. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Videos is killing StreamYard today, but here we go. Steelbook Crew, soon you are going to go out and look for something like these today. This is what's coming out. You got yourself some Excalibur from Arrow on 4K and Blu-ray. Westworld also. Tank Girl is out. That looks like a stripped down version of the one that was released earlier. Network, of course, on Criterion. The movie where that Stallone lost Best Actor to, but not Best Picture or Best Screenplay. So take that, Network. The Phantom of the Opera from 1998. Little 4K there. The Man Who Wasn't There, also 4K. You get your Terror Firmer. All these 4Ks are made in Hong Kong, Volume 2. The films of Hayasasu Sato. There it is. Prison Fire 1 and 2. This is what I will say. I did scrub through this a little bit early. There's a lot of stuff. It's just like, it's a kind of a loaded day, but it's a bunch of stuff I feel like only niche people are going to get. Got your Boxcar Bertha from Cinematographique, whatever that's called. Get your little media book there. I don't know. Look at all these things, y'all. You got a Christopher Lee box set. There was one earlier. This one's 1960 to 2024. Little Warner Archive put out a couple of new ones. Stranger on Third Floor. Mogambo. Tarzan and His Mate. Got all that. You get The Last Mistress. The Dead Thing. Debs. I love that cover. Looks kind of cool and sassy. Let's see. She Shoots Stray. What else we got? Loopy de Loop. I love these cartoons that Warner puts out. Like, okay, there are classic Warner Brothers cartoons, and then there's I watched cartoons growing up. I don't even know this one. but there's going to be a set of people snapping up that Loopy de Loop. Tag the Assassin Game. Oh, look at that. Ooh, Gil Davy Does Dallas. Yeah, get it. Tony, I'm thinking maybe Commander Nerd is going to pick that one up right there. I don't know why. It's like Andrew Town, right? The Woods, The Woods, Richard Pryor, Here and Now. All right, we're just going to scan through these now. You got a re-release there of True Romance that's come out before. It's a great release, though, y'all. If you don't have it, pick it up. Other releases: Westworld Force 5, little fighting movie from 1981. At Close Range, another stripped down version of the other one. But that is not cheap though. I clicked on it earlier and it's like 40-50 bucks, and it's not even the big box set. Anything else jumping out? Not really. Some repeats because they're of different format. Date with a Vampire. It looks kind of rad. I like the cover. Dude with a ghost. Looks nasty. As you can see, loaded day, but a lot of just stuff I don't think people are gonna pick up. I'm thinking about, this is what's interesting about collecting. Is somewhere, someone, all of these titles appeal to someone somewhere. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, not us, not me. Like the entire 2/3 lower half of this is irrelevant to me. The top half, basically at close range up, is something I'd be more interested in. All right, so now let's do our little thing that we always say. Okay, now that I've showed this to you, if you were to go out today or even wait for a sale, what goes in your cart? What do you go out and get? Dave and Tony and Sue, what would they be going to get? Now I'm thinking, okay, so here's the deal about Excalibur, y'all. So it's from 1981. I remember this movie. It's a beautiful movie to look at. And it feels like a grander, greater movie than it is. And I think people are excited because, it looks cool and this is a movie from the 80s. So people are snapping this up. But it's really just kind of a mid movie. Like I'd give it, I don't know, 3.5 stars. I need to give it a rewatch to see what I'd actually give it because I probably haven't seen it since the 80s, even though I did find a Blu-ray at a swap meet. See, this is what I hate too. I find this at a swap meet for $2, and then this comes out and I got to pay $30. So my hunch is maybe just watch that Blu-ray first. What do you guys think? see if I like the movie enough. Again, we get sort of into this trap as collectors that we want to get that because it sounds like a good title to have on the shelf. Like, oh, check it out. I got Excalibur. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I got it over there in Blu-ray. And no one went nuts for that version. So, and the same thing with Westworld. I have Westworld down there. It was on one of those, probably a Groove sale. Got it for $5. And here it is. So several of these for me would be a repurchase, right? So that would be Excalibur, Westworld. Now you're spending $60, and in between the two, I haven't even spent $10. Tank Girl Network. I mean, I remember Tank Girl. Also, again, cool, fun movie. I've never really given Tank Girl a thought since I saw it. I mean, if I'm being honest, I love Lori Petty. I think the cast is great. But is it good? Does it hold up? Has anyone seen Tank Girl again recently? And if so, is it like great? How is it? And Network I've seen. It's fine just because it's Criterion. I mean, I've seen the movie. It's never been something to rewatch on my playlist, as it were. 1976, of course, my favorite movie from that year is Rocky. So I don't know. I mean, and At Close Range, again, I have that from MVD. I've got that already. I got it right up there. At Close, I'm looking right at it. So I have it, and that's a good version. So even though this At Close Range is probably great, and it's on 4K, I don't know, is that worth the upgrade? So that's where I'm at on today's releases, There you go, Neve knows now. It's about football. It's a football team, in case you don't know. Yeah, she tries to go join the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Yeah, it's a movie about cheerleaders. So, yeah. Anyway, what's on your? Oh, that's funny. Excalibur was released on both days, the 23rd and the 24th. But that's it, y'all. That is what's coming out. We're gonna try to bail on this without losing everything. Here we go. That is what's out there. That is what's out there. Oh, yeah, what you think? Interesting. An interesting lot, I would say, for today. It was definitely fun to make, Bonnie. Yeah, man. That's so good. Sue's jealous you wasn't there. Oh, that'd have been fun. How close in proximity are you guys, Bonnie? Like, so I guess like geographically, I always think that they're in Mass. Is the Steelbook Room Massachusetts? And I don't know. Close enough though, right? So you can all just drive to Bull Moose. Like, what is it? What is it to drive for everybody? Like an hour drive, which isn't bad. I'd drive an hour to go hang with you guys. Hell yeah. Tony Mama Blue. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, Candace? With not as much stores selling media around me, my Blu-ray hunt is pretty much going to my mailbox. Dude, I know, right? And yet, what's fun is you try to get super excited, like you're going shopping, like, oh, mailbox, and you open it, like, oh, yeah, super surprised, and you open it. What's in there? That's how you have to roll, bro. I get it. I know I'm similar. There is one sort of near me. It's about a 40-minute drive. It's like, I guess it's my Bull Moose. It's not nearly as big as Bull Moose, though, called CD Hunter, which I haven't been in a long time. Long time. So I do need to go there. So they take trade-ins. And I could go to Amoeba Records. I know you guys probably have heard of Amoeba Records, super famous record store out here. They take trade-ins and tons to pick from. I guess that feels more like a Bull Moose because not only do they have all the movies, but they also have lots of music and stuff too, and CDs, vinyl, and stuff like that. So I just need to get out there when I have a little bit more free time, like maybe when the job ends and I have like a week off or something, I'll head out and do that. Because, the weekends I'm kind of like going to see my movies or hanging out with wifey, having a good time. But yeah, man, I get you. The mailbox sometimes brings the best our best movie surprises. Well, hello, Maria. How are you? Hey, hey. Yes, I'm still getting over last week's Courtney Cox versus Holly Hunter, but I'm good. I've been filling my time with lots of Courtney Cox, watching all the Scream movies, and my 52-week movie pick, which I'll talk about in a bit. I want a couple of those Warner releases. Okay, which ones? Picked them up after they dropped to about 10. Although, and yeah, I want to get Excalibur. I mean, like I said, I was a big fan back in the day, and I remember having it on VHS, and then I got that. And so I feel this pull to get it because it does look like a great release. The self-respecting nerd. I missed that back in my head. I know, dude. I know. I know it was great and more sex and violence than you would think would be happening in a King Arthur movie. Very violent, in fact. So. And again, the look, John Boorman, just the cinematography of that film is stunning. And you get yourself a little bit an early Patrick Stewart and Liam Neeson in that movie, which is always cool. So which of the Warner Archive? All right, Mr. Moody, let's see. All right, Steve, let me get down here. Let's see. It's either your Johnny Weissmuller, Strange on the Third Floor, Mogambo, or come on, where are those other ones that were here? Where'd they go? Gotta be other ones. I thought there were others. All right. Well, there it is. That's some of them. I thought there was some combos. Okay. Yeah. All right. So those it. So one of those. Let's see. What would you be getting? What would Steve be getting? Maybe you're a Tarzan fan. Old school Tarzan, Johnny Weissmuller. I don't know. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Excited to hear me out. The only thing that came out today, I already have. Yeah, I know you. I saw your video that you got Excalibur. Nice. You're at work. Nice. Tiana, thank you for stopping in. Wave back to you. Like right there. Same hand. Right there. So there it is. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Slap that like on the way out the cafe. Seeing Scream on Tuesday. That's cool. That's cool. Get it. I don't want nothing spoiled, man. I got to go see it quick. See Tiana by saying, oh, hello, hello. Look at that. Draculina is here. Good morning, darlings. Love it when Caprice walks in the house. It's always delightful. Mr. Van Gool says, I have an Entertainment here that I buy movies from. That's cool. I'm glad you got a joint that you can go do that too. Okay, little Tarzan and his mate, nice. And the Strangers on the Third Floor, sweet. Little Peter Lorre, very nice. And they will be mine. I love that confident tag at the end. That's right. You just see you shaking that fist, run into the store. Let's go, Steve. Let's see. I couldn't figure out which person was Liam Neeson. Well, Patrick Stewart has a little more hair. It's more like darker hair, but he's still bald with a ring. Yeah, it's during there's I don't know what's the scene, like a camp scene where all the knights are sort of gathered and having conversations, and they're not in their armor really, if I'm recalling. They're all just sort of like hanging and having conversations. That's the scene I remember both of them being in. And so it's very small. It's a very small scene. It might be the part where he pulls the sword out and everybody's just chilling and stuff. I don't know. Maybe around there, unless there's a second scene later on. But to my recollection, it's that kind of scene. They're not going to be in the armor, suited up, and stuff like that. Did you see Shane Lee? He is doing a Marvel movie a week and then Doomsday. Oh, no way. Really? Oh, that's kind of cool. That's ambitious. I like that, though. A Marvel movie a day right up until Doomsday. That's not bad. Bravo, Shane Lee. That's a cool idea. I'm saying hello to Steve. I only got 5 movies in February. That's okay. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. But my thing is, I haven't gotten a lot either. Although I will say this. Check this out. So, you know that sale that they had where you buy one, get one 50% off? I did snag some nice looking steel books here. Check this out. You got 2 Mandos. Look at that. Season 1, Season 2. Those are my favorites. I did not care for Season 3. The fact that he loses his helmet and the whole season is about him getting back in his swimming pool so he can be a Mando again. Horrible. Terrible. Lame. But again, my favorite Marvel series, little WandaVision. And the one, Dave, I was waiting for it. It came back around. Is Hawkeye. I love Hawkeye. This is like my second or third favorite one. Like Loki season 1 is probably my second, and then this, but then Loki season 2 kind of takes it down a peg. So, but this was great. I loved Hawkeye. I think Haley Steinfeld and Jeremy Renner are terrific in that thing. It's like a little spy thriller kind of show. I dug it, man. I dug it. So, what'd you guys score? Did you guys get anything cool during the sales? They're always there. Yeah, man, Mando, let's go, Mando. But yes, that's what I got. So here's an interesting thing, y'all. I'm going to pull up something. Speaking of Scream, since we're all talking about that's coming out, we're all going to go see it sooner. So I was looking at this website called CBR.com, right? And they said 5 horror movies that are better than 5 90s horror movies that are better than Scream. So they all have to come out in the 90s. And I wanted to see if you agree with any of these being better than Scream. And I'm just going to go, these are the ones they show. So they literally have Frankenhooker, call it a bizarre dark comedy with real bite. So that's one. That's sort of, I did not expect that. Candyman, the first Candyman. This is it. They say it has depth that most slasher films lack. So they got Candyman there. A movie that I've never even heard of. In fact, a lot of the other ones called Funny Games is even more metafictional than Scream. Well, if it's so good, why have I never heard of it? So, Funny Games. All right, that's 3. Of course, they're saying the Blair Witch Project works even if you know it's not real. I enjoyed Blair Witch Project, but do I think it's better than Scream? Let's get to the bottom of the list and we'll see. And the last movie, it looks like a maybe a Hong Kong movie. It's called Audition, and they call it one of the most extreme horror movies ever. And they say it's far from the most famous on the list. However, it has a reputation of being extreme among hardcore horror fans. I guess maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just not a hardcore. Like, I like horror, but it is not my go-to genre. It's not my favorite genre, as it is many other people. So I guess it's intense. So, of those 5, I would completely disagree. Like, I mean, only because literally, like, Frankenhooker, Candyman's probably the strongest of them all because, I mean, I've seen it. So, but like Funny Game, Blair Witch was fine too, but Funny Games and Audition, I've never even seen, and yet they're on the list. So I've never heard of these. So to my horror fans out there, what is your take? Have you heard of all 5 of these? Have you seen any of these? I kind of find the list a little weak, especially when you say these are 5 movies better than Scream, and yet Scream has a bigger fan base. It's coming up on 7 movies. It's got the pedigree, the actors in it. I don't know. I find that very hard to get behind, but I sort of love, finding lists like that. Um, yeah. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Any other hot item out there? Um, yes, and yes, I know we're getting the Paramount WB debacle continues to heat up, but whatever. We'll just not deal with that until something of value is worth talking about. At this point, I know it was right there. Like the first day, we're going to treat Jeremy like garbage and not pay him his rate that he deserves. Then they said it's all good, and Jeremy's like, "Yay, okay, we're back on it." And then yeah, here it's canceled again. So I don't know. I feel like Marvel is always like, treading water with their TV shows, trying to figure out what they should make and what they shouldn't make. So I'm disappointed too, Dave. I really wanted a season 2. Nothing since Christmas. Hey man, doesn't been. I would say. I mean, there hasn't been a ton of stuff really trying to get me here. Oh, look at this! I just saw this. Any Revenge of the Nerds fans out there? I just looked at Deadline here, and Revenge of the Nerds star Robert Carradine, that guy, passed away. It's a bummer. Tell you, we're just, the older we get, the older they get, and we see some of these great actors go away. So R.I.P. to the nerd himself, Robert Carradine. I wish I had your strength. I need your strength. It is yours. I know. Marianne, kudos on you, girl. Kudos on you. It's not really strength, it's power. Look, it's called selling back stuff so you can buy new stuff. Look, I always wait for deals too. I get you, sister. When you got a kid in college, stacking up your movie room is so low on the totem pole that if I don't have a sale, I'm most likely not buying movies. I can't tell you the last time I literally went out and bought a movie day one off the rack for $30 on 4K. Like I wanted to go get Predator Badlands, and I didn't even get to Walmart until Friday, sold out, gone. So there it is. That's the point, is if you don't get out quick enough, it could be gone. Now, it's fine. It's on Amazon and all that stuff, and it'll probably drop in price. So, but I'm with you. I wait for deals, or deal or no deal. That's what I say. That's why it's hard for me to convince myself to pick up the Excalibur and the Westworld when I have the cheaper versions. And then I did watch some comparison videos. So I love the people out there that do them. That's not really my bag to make those videos. But the person that compared, I don't know, was that Geekflix or something? They were comparing the Blu-ray of Excalibur to this 4K. Oh. And man, that Blu-ray looks terrible. Like if I wouldn't have seen the comparisons, maybe I wouldn't quite know. But now when I go to put that in, I'm going to see just how washed out that Blu-ray is. And yeah, that even tells you something. I got this at a swap meet like a year ago, and I've yet to play it again. So that tells you how desirable that movie is for me to rewatch quickly. I'm like, I'll get to it. A lot of movies, because we go out shopping, we get so many movies, we say to ourselves, now that I've got it in the collection, I can watch it when I want. And that is true. That's the whole point of having a collection, because most of us don't have the time or the ability to just, like, if you buy these 4 movies, you don't come home and watch all 4 movies, or you can't even watch them 4 in a row. You also got to be in the mood. Maybe you're not in the mood for that movie. There you go, man. All right, Steve. Is that the only Scream you've seen? Is Scream 1? Or of the 5 is Audition. So of that 5, the only one you saw was Audition. The one that's extreme. Good. So the fact that you've seen the most extreme one, the number 1 on their list, and you still think Scream is better? Well, by cracky, between me and Steve, I think we've come to the conclusion that Scream is still better than all 5 of those. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Tell us we're wrong. Make it happen. Like I sent you some really funny videos. They were fun. The stupid. Okay, one of the Lord of the Rings. Okay, cool. All right, I will go look for those after the show. Although work is busy, I'm gonna have to start hammering down as soon as we're done here. Hello, Craig. By the way, greetings, sir. Greetings. Maybe the pondering. They are pondering making Hawkeye into a movie with this popularity. I don't know. As a solo movie, I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I think they're going to go off of how well did the TV show do, and would it warrant a movie now that they've already started planning this whole new resurgence, right? You've got Doomsday, Secret Wars. You're bringing in the X-Men now, and I think you got a lot of more popular characters to make movies of that. I don't know if a solo Hawk. I'd go. I'm with you, movie hunter. I'd go see Hawkeye, but yeah, I think it would end up being more like the Marvels. Not as many people would go see it. It would have to be something special. That's right, Luke. What's going on, my dude? Look, y'all. Look, we'll just say it right here, right now. Another banger month of the 52-week movie challenge has happened. The month is almost over. It's only 28 days, y'all. And on the last day, on Saturday, we're gonna do our second recap show, and the Pontoaster is gonna be there, man. Look, it's always a good time when Luke is there. It's just a raucous good time. So come check it out this Saturday night. I do not have the graphic lodge. You have to go to my channel. Go check it out. It's already up. Oh, wait. No, it's not already up. I will put that up today if I have time. But it will be this Friday at 5 p.m. Cali time, 8 o'clock East Coast time. And then if you're in the rest of the world, just, once I put it up, hit your notify button and y'all will be all set. We're going to talk about all the cool things that we watched in the next few weeks. In fact, here, this is called a taste, right, Luke? This is a taste to tell them what's coming. All right, so you see this little banner pop up. What? Uh-oh. And then these are going to be the weeks. You get your favorite foreign director. See, I'm already ready to go. Look at this. You get your, a movie from the 1950s or earlier. You got your favorite comfort movie. And, of course, a movie starring Courtney Cox. So, oh, yeah, look at that sneak preview. Graphics already there. That's what we're going to talk about come this Saturday. So it's gonna be a good time, y'all. Smoking good time. Dave will be there as well. So Dave will be there, and another stack cast. We got your KB, we got your Jeff. Nikki, your little dude will be there. Who else we got in there? I'm going brain dead, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a stack panel. So there you go, man. Oh, yeah, you definitely watched that solo movie, huh? Well, let's see. We say it's okay. I usually watch every movie I buy before I put it on the shelf. Nice. It's a smart move. If I don't, usually send it back to Amazon. Well, there you go. It's a good idea. I definitely watch a solo Hawkeye movie. You'll watch that thing. All right, cool. All right, y'all, gang. Let's quickly go over the next group of stuff, and then we'll sneak into this or that. So get your thought pan going, come up with some good stuff that we can yak about. But first, hold the phone. Look, this stuff is working so freaking slow, man, but here it is. It's what we got today. Look, hands-free. Oh, okay, that was the fastest one today. Here we go. This is the box office for February 20th to 22nd. Boy, howdy. 2 weeks ago, the box office was at like 55 mil, and then we took a huge jump during the Valentine's week at 100.7 mil. And this week, right back down, cut it in half, 56 mil. So box office is doing this, y'all, up and down, up and down. In fact, GOAT, last week's number 2, slides over to number 1. We had all these brand new movies come out today and or over the weekend, and not one of them could take the number 1 spot. A movie in its second week took it instead. So we have here GOAT with 16.8. Wuthering Heights still holding strong at 14 in the number 2 slot. I knew this last week when I said faith-based movies, never count them out. They always come in sort of the mid. They never take number 1, but they're always like in that 2, 3, 4 spot, which is interesting. And sure enough, I Can Only Imagine 2 got 16.3. Crime 101 still in the top 5, but most importantly, Send Help at 4.2 still in the top 5. That to me is great. I love that movie. Sam Raimi directed. Super good. Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien. They are a terrific pairing in that. But the 2 new movies that came out that I went and saw this weekend that were very underwhelming was Glenn Powell's How to Make a Killing, and that was at number 6. Like earlier projections when I was looking at the daily thing, it was in the top 5 on Friday. And then it just kept getting lower and lower. And by the time the numbers came in, it didn't even come close. Send Help has 4 point. It's now been readjusted since I made this graphic. Technically 4.4 million for Send Help. And How to Make a Killing made 3.5. So they weren't even like beating each other out by like 100 grand or something like that. Like a full million more in its fourth week. Send Help. So Glenn Powell, I don't know what are the audiences telling us, that Glenn Powell isn't the star we want him to be, or he's just not picking good movies. Anyway, so it came in at number 6, and the other one was Psycho Killer that I saw for you guys. Like, I'm so sick and tired of horror movies, especially mediocre horror movies, but I went and saw it because I know there's a big fan base out there. But what's kind of hilarious is that fan base did not show up. It was not in a ton of theaters like a lot of the other ones. It was only in like 1,300 theaters. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 1,100 theaters, not even that. But the Glenn Powell movie was in 1,600. So you can see they aren't even putting those out there. And this is their wide releases. And there you go. So that was not a huge turnout. Psycho Killer was it was just ridiculous. I was kind of, I don't know. It's just a mediocre Psycho Killer movie. And what's funny is it feels more like they're forcing a new franchise down your throat than making just a good Psycho Killer movie, because he's got this mask on and he's huge. He's like 6'10" or whatever. And he's jacked. And every time he walks, he's got heavy footfalls. I'm like, literally, it's Jason Voorhees. Like, physically, the guy's Jason. The mask looks like a hybrid of everything, looks like Heart Eyes meets, I don't know, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't know. It was just so, like, Heart Eyes was so good. It was good. It was funny. It had super good kills. And then this movie was just, And mostly because the characters do stupid things. I get so frustrated when like the cop learns that the killer's in this hotel room and she tells the guy, call for backup. But what does she do? Does she wait for backup? Nope. She goes right in the room and gets her ass handed to her. I'm like, you found him and now you let him go. And it happens again. There's a second time where she finds out where he is because she's better than all the cops. She's a better investigator than every cop in town. Finds him. Does she wait for backup the second time, learning her lesson from the first time? Yeah, and he's gone. Bravo, lead character. And then the ending was absolutely absurd. It's like, how can we make an ending that's ambiguous so we can potentially have a franchise? I'm like, again, no, like that was so, yeah. Anyway, so I recommend you don't see it, but if you see it, feel free to hit me up on Instagram and we can yell about it because it was the most frustrating. Glenn's was just, it was like a dark comedy. Like he is, his mother gets shunned from this super rich billionaire family because she's pregnant. I think she's underage, right? So they don't want that in their family. So they kick her to the curb and she just grows up normal. Like she has a regular job at the DMV. But she has an illness and passes away. And she tells her son, who's Glenn Powell, go, live the life you deserve, or find that life that's owed you, or something like. Basically, she's hinting, you're the last in line for this inheritance, but everyone else has to die before you get it. So you get the plot. This is what the trailer tells you. So the plot is he has to sort of kill his way to the top so he gets the inheritance. Sounds like a fun movie. Now, I know some people really dug it. They got some good ratings on Letterboxd, but it wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be. Like, the kills kind of come and go. They're okay. Are they funny? They're kind of I don't know. Like, a movie like that, to me, should have had a more, I don't know, some sort of playful atmosphere, some sick and twisted thing, maybe like a Ready or Not kind of thing, which I thought was brilliant, but it just didn't quite have it for me. Like Margaret Qualley is also in this film from The Substance. She's great. And she's a character that he knew growing up, and they had a little crush on each other. But when he grew up and went away with his mom, they sort of grew apart. But there's a thing that they have, and you'll see if you watch it going into the movie, that if they would have collaborated and plotted all this stuff, that would have been a great movie. Like that's the movie I wanted to see, is the two of them coming up with ways to do this, but instead it's not that, and so it's just a watered down thing of what it could have been. So anyway, so that is my take on the 2 movies that aren't even on the top 5 that were brand new this week. Okay, speaking of brand new, so here's the stuff. If the computer will allow me. All right, these are what's coming out. Of course, the big dog, Scream 7. That's the one. There was not really anything for me to pick from. So I picked Elvis. Now, Elvis did come out last week, but they're calling this the wide release for Elvis, which did fairly well, by the way. Like I said, Elvis was in 7th place, for a concert film. And get this, it was only in 325 theaters. I mean, granted, it's an IMAX, so there's not that many, but came in 7th with 3.2 million. Like that's impressive. So I don't know. Honestly, I wish I would have saw Elvis instead of either of those 2 movies. And then I put the other one down, which is Uma Musume Pretty Derby, Beginning of a New Era, because never underestimate these anime movies. I'm telling you, I don't know what that is. I pretty much won't be seeing it, but always expect them to come out of nowhere and do well. So do I predict Scream 7? Yes, that will be number 1. Hands down, fan base is ready. We're good to go. But what will be number 2? Honestly, I think it could be Uma Musume, right? Honestly, I think it could be, because everything else is sort of on its way down. But Elvis, again, a wider release just means more IMAX theater. So, I mean, it might even kind of roughly stay where it's at in that 7-8 area. But yeah, let's go for broke. But Scream 7, I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. How about y'all? All right, so that is going to do it. That is going to do it right here for all the box office news. Let's go ahead and talk about the 52-week movie challenge, because here we go. Courtney Cox. Yes, I had to pick Ace Ventura because I'm watching all the Scream movies. So which one do I pick? I couldn't pick it, Captain. So, which of course is a direct impression of Jim Carrey doing Captain Kirk in this movie. So of course, this is, I think, Courtney's most popular outside of the Scream franchise movie. Yes, there's Masters of the Universe and some other things she had smaller roles in, like 3,000 Miles to Graceland or The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. But she's such a side character in those. She is literally the second billed actor in this film. So to me, this is a worthy Courtney Cox movie. In fact, this is a banner year for her because she not only came out with this movie, but also Friends came out in 1994 as well. I love this movie. It's hilarious. From the moment it starts, Jim Carrey takes the over-the-top aspect that he's known for and just never stops. Does every joke still land? Maybe not every one of them. There's also a joke near the end, where when he realizes he's kissed Einhorn and he realizes Einhorn's a man and they all go, whoa, which, it doesn't really hold up in today's society. When you're like trying to say kissing a man is not cool. You know what I mean? Like, just in today's world, that the joke of that kind of caliber doesn't land. But other than that, the silly stuff, it's all pretty good. So, 4.5 stars. Dug it. Way to go, Courtney Cox. And Courtney is radiant in this film. She's so good. She has great chemistry with Jim Carrey. Absolutely fantastic. In fact, I remember Jennifer Aniston was being cast for Bruce Almighty, and she came to Courtney and asked, what is it like working with Jim? And she's like, take the role. You'll thank me later. And that's the conversation I heard between the two. And she did, because, what's not to love working with Jim Carrey? But there you go. That was my pick, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, for my Courtney Cox week. What are you watching? Are you picking one of the Scream movies as your pick? Obviously, what I've done is I did this so that you could go to the theater and watch Scream 7. That is technically my pick, but because I do this show, I need something to talk about before Friday. So while I did this so I will watch that, I had to tell you something for today. And so since I saw all the Scream movies, I just picked something outside of that. And that is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. All right, coming up next week is an all-numeric movie. So think stuff like 1917 or 1408. Things like that. All those work as a perfect all-numeric thing. If you can't find just numerics, then your movie has to have numbers in it. So you could do 2001 Space Odyssey, which I'll never do. You can do 2012, you can do 48 hours. I'm just looking over at my thing. 48 meters down, you can do 300. That's an all numeric thing. Zack Snyder's 300. 2 days in the valley. As long as there's a number in it, I'm going to try to find something that's just numbers for me, because that is the challenge. But maybe you've seen all the ones that are just numbers and you want to see a new movie. So you need to go outside of that and do something that's also got letters in it. So, but it has to have a number. So does 7 count because it says the word 7, but it puts the number 7 in the middle? I guess so, because that is how they spell it, is they put a letter in there, and a number in there. But next week will be that alphanumeric thing. All right, so there you go. That is my 52-week movie challenge. What did you watch for it? Now we're going to get to this versus that in just a second. So get your this versus that ready. We're just going to run back to the chats here, catch up, grab my drink. Oh, you prefer Audition to The Shrink is In, which is what I watched for the challenge this week. Now, what is The Shrink is In? Or is that last week's challenge? Because if that's a Courtney movie, I've actually never heard of that. I watched Dead Man's Wire last night. It's a really good true crime story. Nice. I've only seen one Scream. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I get you, man. I get you. Yeah, to me, though, yeah, I'm not like this huge horror guy, but I watch every movie I buy. Yeah, very good. Nice. That's not good. Every time I go in there, they just don't have movies for sale. It's like mostly books. Go figure. And the movies are never, I've never found anything at the library. So that's fine. It's like having a Blockbuster still around, but I don't tend to go there to rent, but had movies I wanted to buy there. I'm going to go see How to Make a Killing. Didn't have a chance, fortunately. No theater close by me. Got Psycho Killer. But I'm going to wait until it drops on Hulu. Cool, man. You know what it is, Luke? It's funny. You and I have great, like, similar tastes in movies, but there's also this moment where you and I are opposite. And I feel like you're going to like How to Make a Killing. I feel like you're going to really like that. But when you see it, you'll know where I'm coming from, but I don't know. I think you're going to like that. I'm so sick of horror movies in general. So look, here's the thing. And I said this in my review for, I don't know which, one of the two, that horror movies come out every single week and it's exhausting. It's so much. I get so tired. It's just exhausting. Like that's what we have to get every week. What I'm missing now more than, and it's whenever I hit a wall like this, like the only thing to see that weekend was a horror movie. And then, 2 mediocre movies or whatever, is I realized there's just no comedies anymore. Nothing to make you laugh in this world right now. Why don't we have comedies? I'm sorry. Right now I need to laugh because our state of affairs sucks. So I need a comedy, y'all. Maybe that's why comedy horror. Like if you're going to have horror in the theater, it might as well have some comedy in it because I need to laugh at something. And the last comedy I can even remember was The Naked Gun back in August of last year, which was hilarious. I laughed my ass off. I'm like, great. That's our one comedy. But also, where are, my friends, the adventure movies? They're just not making those anymore. No adventure movies, no Raiders of the Lost Ark, no Romancing the Stone. No, you know what I mean? Like those, I think the last thing was, what's that video game? Uncharted, with Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland. That's an adventure movie. I mean, I wasn't a big game person on that game, so I don't know if it was good to the game or not, but it was an okay action movie, but, like it was fun. It was adventurous. But they don't make those anymore. I want to see those movies. I want to see an adventure movie, an action adventure. They just don't exist. Tell me the last action adventure movie you can remember. And I'm not talking a crime drama, because those are all over the place too. But just like a thrill-seeking adventure. I can't even remember. I'm sure there's something from last year, but and no Marvel. We're not talking, Marvel or superheroes or anything like that. But Crime 101, that's a good movie. It's a good, like I said, Nikki, on my review, it felt like a little Michael Mann movie, very much like Heat Light kind of thing. but it was good. Becky wanted to go see it for Valentine's Day. She's like, I don't want to see Wuthering Heights. I want to go see Crime 101. Yeah. But yeah, Luke, see, that's when we lock in on. Crime 101 was solid, man. Good storytelling, good crime stuff. Everybody in it's good. It's a fantastic cast. I liked it quite a bit. I think the biggest bummer for Psycho Killer is that it's from the writer of Seven. Yeah, I heard the script and the movie. It was, dude. It was just God, like man, and yeah, no, enough said on that. I picked the same as you, Noise with Courtney Cox. Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to do that because poor little Courtney hasn't had a plethora of awesome go-to movies. But that is a good one. Like if you're, you also got Masters of the Universe if somebody wants to pick that. Now, Luke, you guys are going to watch He-Man closer to the movie. I might be down with that, bro. I might be down with that. So if you're interested, very 50-50 on Scream 7. I'm hoping it's good, but I'm worried. I know. I mean, I honestly, I'm worried every time the new ones came out. So I am interested to watch 6 again because I kind of like that he's in New York, and Ghostface with a shotgun. I remember people were going nuts, like just to see Ghostface with some other weapon in his hand is crazy. I mean, he's put a gun in his hand in a few of the movies because I've just seen them all. He does pick up a gun and blow away poor Randy, although he does survive. I have learned one thing, y'all. If you get stabbed, make sure you get stabbed in the lower abdomen. Lots of cavities in that area. Lots of empty holes. You're guaranteed to survive. I mean, Sidney Prescott was stabbed there multiple times in several movies. And in Scream 4, I think it was, and she was stabbed a whole bunch. She went to the hospital for that. In this last movie, stabbed in the same places. Maybe it's got more room in there, She's only holding her side and sitting on the edge of an ambulance with Courtney Cox, who was shot, by the way, in the same hole that she was shot in the first Scream movie. Same spot. I was waiting for her to go, not again. That would have been hilarious to say not again because it's shot in the same spot. So again, that lower abdomen, that is a sweet spot for survival. So you get shot there, get stabbed there, you're good, man. Somebody breaks in your house, make sure you run at him with your stomach because you'll be fine. You'll be fine, man. Oh, in the shoulder. Also a very survivable location. So yeah, that's what I've learned, It's a learning thing. Watch The Shrink is in. It's awful. Is Courtney in that, Steve? I don't know that. I'm not going to watch it now. That's awful. I can't watch my girl do an awful movie. Fahrenheit 451. Oh, there you go with a number in it. It's a very bad. Oh no. All right. I'll pass. You should watch the film 1114 from 2000. Okay. All right. And what's up, Laren? 1114. What is that? Okay, I'll see if I can find 1114 because I was also thinking of 1408. A lot of people were telling me to see that. It was very cool, very good. I know it recently came out on 4K. I'm not going to go buy it. I don't do blind buys on things that are that pricey that I haven't seen. But John Cusack, I believe, 1408. Maybe Sam Jackson also in that. But 1114. See, I like that. It's all numbers. So I'm jazzed. I wish both H. and Bruce Almighty would have been written so that the girls could have really shown their funny. Yeah, how funny they are. Now they're all about Carrie and his facial acrobatics. Yeah, I know. And look, we know that both Courtney and Jennifer have absolute comedic timing. And I feel like Courtney has more to do in Ace than I feel like Jennifer did in Bruce. Right? Am I right about that? Because I don't even remember much of Jennifer other than her being the wife and having some moments, and you got the dog. But I mean, Courtney was at least the second lead of this film and felt like it. So, and yeah, it was really just Courtney trying to keep it together because Jim was absolutely like a loose cannon. And I made a comment in my review that I posted on the shorts tab. Go check out my shorts, y'all. Not those shorts. That there's no like this. The Blu-ray and I think the 4K too. No, there's no special features. You guys, I don't have the 4K. You let me know if I'm wrong on that. But I think it's the same special features, which are nothing. It's like a commentary and then a trailer. And then, like, that is a movie. There should be a blooper reel. Man, could you imagine an Ace Ventura blooper reel? And it's an iconic comedy. It's one of Carrie's best. And there's nothing. You get nothing. Like, I'm just stunned that movies that are that huge get nothing. Crazy, man. I just froze. Yeah, I'm not shocked. Am I still frozen, y'all? Hopefully not. I do know that there was issues going on. And see, that was a few minutes ago. So hopefully I'm not frozen, y'all. Let's take a look. I'm looking. Okay. I look in motion, so that's good. All right. Let's start to get your this or that's ready, y'all. Moody. Because we're about to hit the bricks here. Laren. All right, y'all. All right, people. It is now time for a little game of this versus that. I need to see what you want me to battle royale here against each other. So here it is. This versus that. It's up to you guys to start throwing out some things you want me to battle about. It could be, and then let me know if you want them to actually battle or if it's just which character is better, So if it's like Crockett and Tubbs, hey, who's better, Crockett or Tubbs, or maybe it's like John McClane versus another super cop, it's like which cop is better, or do they battle? Like, you never know how I'm going to come at it. It'll probably be what you put up there. Obviously, if it's candy or food or something like that or soft drinks, I'm just going to tell you what's better. But I feel like if it's characters that would fight, like maybe like some sort of, monsters or something, I would have to pick, who would win in the fight. But yeah, so what you got, man? Start throwing them out. Let's see what you got. I'm just going to read some of these till we get there. Older sitcoms, yeah. Dude, the older sitcoms are so good. Nikki, you're right. I still laugh every time I watch Friends. It's that well written. I said The Last Adventure. I know, that was 2 years ago, Michael, what's going on, dude hopper? All right, here we go. Already out of the gate. Movie Hunter says, movie theaters versus drive-ins. Love that. Because actually my first job ever was a drive-in. And I will say they're not that great. I was told because I could only work during the summer. This is my junior year rolling into my senior year. And the lady knew it. She knew I had to leave, and so she told the concessions people, okay, when Brian comes in, that's where I go by there. Is like when Brian comes in, trash the place with popcorn everywhere and all this stuff. So he's got to work his ass off to clean up. And so a buddy of mine who, we'd been working there together said, hey, Hug, sorry, man, I gotta trash the place for you. Just giving you the heads up. I'm like, oh man. so I have a taint, not that kind, on drive-ins. Although I love the niche of drive-ins. I think they're fun to go to once in a while and back the car up, pop the thing up. And all that good stuff. But I mean, for me, it's movie theaters. I love the comfort, especially nowadays when you got the recliner seats and the super cushy chairs and the snack bar you can just go to. They're just cozier. And I like that cozy feeling of movie theaters. So in this battle royale, my friend, I will have to choose the movie theater over that overly dirty drive-in. All right, let's see what else. You can't get your messages through. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something happening because Dave tried to send something and I didn't see that earlier as well. So just keep trying. I know that one got through, right? Okay, this is good. All right, it's interesting. Light chocolate or dark chocolate? Good question because I'm not a chocolate fan. My chocolate has to be part of something, right? Like I like chocolate and caramel, chocolate and peanuts. And if you got chocolate, caramel, and peanuts, I'm a nut. But like if you just give me a bar of chocolate, like light chocolate, and a bar of dark chocolate, first of all, I don't really care. I don't like just all chocolate like that. But I would I'm less of a fan of dark chocolate. So I would go for the light chocolate, aka what I would actually call milk chocolate. Not really the white chocolate, because I don't think that's all that great. But milk chocolate versus dark chocolate, if I have to take a bite of just a bar with nothing in it, it'll be the lighter chocolate. So that's my pick on chocolates. All right, next up, what do we got? Resend them. Yeah, keep resending them, y'all. Okay, up now we have John McClane versus Mel Gibson's character Riggs. Riggs Murtaugh, yeah, Riggs in Lethal Weapon. Whoo! Dave, that's a good one. That's a good one. So you got, and we're going John McClane. We're going like that Die Hard 1 John McClane, and we'll go the Lethal Weapon 1 Riggs, to see how they pair up. And honestly, I think while being a good match, I think that Riggs is a bit of a loose cannon. As we know, the dude's a bit crazy. He's insane. And John McClane can be as well, but I feel like McClane has a little bit better survival skills. Well, I don't know about that because Riggs did survive being electrocuted, and I just think John McClane would have a cooler head if they were going mono e mono, right? In this particular thing, I'm going to have them like battling each other. I don't know. Should I have them battle? Because if I'm just picking favorite character, I'm just picking John McClane because I do prefer the first Die Hard just a little bit over the first Lethal Weapon. But if the characters are going at it, I still think John McClane takes it by a Scotch tape gun on his back. Hitchcock versus Fincher. Hossman Pizza in the house, dropping some heat. All right. So while I do love David Fincher's filmography, he does really good, solid stuff. Hitchcock, this is something like if you'd have hit me with this question 3 years ago, it wouldn't have even been a competition because I just didn't care for Hitchcock. But now, having started watching all of his films about 3 years ago, and I've just gotten so sucked into his filmography, they just kind of win me over a little bit more than the Fincher stuff. I think that his whodunit kind of stuff is a fantastic thing to get into, and he does it so well, does it better than most people. But Fincher does do like these really intricate weaves that sort of take you in and out and what's going to happen. So that's kind of a different feel than Hitchcock stuff. I think for me, it might have been harder to go Fincher against Tarantino. That'd have been harder. But if I'm going Hitchcock versus Fincher, for me right now, I'm gonna pick Hitch. Good old Hitchcock. Yep, Martin Riggs. I'm too old for this shit. Michael Mann versus Tony Scott. Oh, wow, Hoss bringing some heat on this one too. I see what you're doing there, Dave, on the next one. All right. Okay, so in this one here, we have Michael Mann versus Tony Scott. Michael Mann, of course, giving us great stuff like Heat and Miami Vice and all these kind of stuff. Tony Scott gives us Crimson Tide and Top Gun and all this jazz. I'm just trying to rattle off stuff quick so you get an idea of who. And of course, Michael Mann gave us the original Miami Vice TV show. I will say, wow. So with this particular battle, I think I love the intensity of Michael Mann's stuff, and I loved the original Miami Vice. But when it comes to films, I gotta go with Tony Scott, my boy Tony Scott. He's just got stuff that I revisit more often. Like I said, with Top Gun. Although Collateral's Michael Mann though. Oh, this is a good one, y'all. Oh man. Am I gonna flip my switch here? Because I do like that. No, I'm gonna stick with Tony Scott just because. And again, you guys are good. I mean, Hoss, that's a good pairing. That's right here. That's not even oh, sorry, you guys didn't dial me in. That's just I'm not gonna waste time. Now this one's really close because something like Collateral's way up here for me, but then Crimson Tide is also right up there because you got Denzel and Gene Hackman acting together. It's just a tour de force. I love watching them in that movie. For this right here, right now, I'm going to say Tony Scott edges out Michael Mann. All right, next out. All right, I'll just make this a little quicker. So Dave says right here, Rachel versus Monica from Friends. I'm just going to cut to the chase. And it's Monica. I prefer Monica over Rachel. I get it. Rachel's sort of the hot, ditzy little chick. And Monica is the OCD, overbearing type. But I think Courtney plays her with such charm. And it's tough. She has a harder time pulling off a character like that and keeping her lovable than Rachel does. Rachel just has to show up and be funny and cute. So, you know, for the win, Monica Geller. Like Dave, my guy. What's up, Darkroom? Yeah, more underrated animated Disney pick, Treasure Planet. All right, so this one is a little easy because I hate to say it, but I haven't seen Treasure Planet, but I have seen Atlantis, and I freaking love Atlantis. Michael J. Fox, right, doing the voiceover in that. I think that is, you're right, absolutely underrated movies there. But because of my lack of not having seen Treasure Planet, the winner for this one is Atlantis. Oh, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Oh, it was easy. Some of these are just like one and done. So a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup over Milky Way. It is Reese's Peanut Butter Cup all day, every day. In fact, if you go Reese's Pieces, you're even top drawer over that. That's the one thing I will say about E.T. eating Reese's Pieces over M&M's. Since I wasn't a big chocolate guy, I didn't care for M&M's, but I was like, what are these Reese's Pieces? You know, and they're basically a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup in little candy form. And it's my jam. So, yep, going to Peanut Butter Cup. All right, look at this. Sisu versus John Wick. Now, look, I do dig me the over-the-top craziness of Sisu. You know, Maria, you'll dig that. But, you know, he's only got 2 movies versus John Wick's 4.5 if you count his appearance in Ballerina. But I just, you know, I'm a Keanu fan, man. And I get the comparison. Maybe Sisu versus Nobody would have been a little bit more closer because it's kind of in that same vein, a harder pick. But if it's versus John Wick, I got to lean on my boy Keanu Reeves and have John Wick takes this versus that. Hunter, obviously Wick. See, Laren's with me. Back to the Future Trilogy versus the girl. You are wicked. All right, look, you're very good at this game. Back to the Future Trilogy versus the first 3 Indiana Jones movies trilogy. This is wicked, girl. All right, because Back to the Future and Raiders are 2 movies I consider perfect movies. They're both among my favorite movies of all time. They're in the top 10. Back to the Future, as you probably know, is often my number 1, depending on my mood. And but you are talking trilogies, so I'm gonna have to really dissect all the movies in both trilogies. And I will say that Back to the Future 2 and 3 are not as strong as Temple of Doom and The Last Crusade. For me, I think those 2 movies are superior than the other 2 in Back to the Future. So while I would probably edge out Back to the Future over Raiders just as favorite, I mean, but they, like I said, they are among my favorite, and they're right here. They're both in my top 5. It's the trilogy that we have to consider in this battle. And I think pound for pound, punch for punch, the Indiana Jones trilogy takes it over the Back to the Future trilogy. There you go. Man, it's a good one. John Wick versus Rambo. Whew, what the hey? All right. So now we got this battle of John Wick versus Rambo. 2 Johns going mano y mano. This is tough. I would say, I don't know. So they're both fantastic at artillery, right? Artillery. I mean, Keanu does have, or John Wick does have the fighting skills, but I mean, Rambo could mess you up too. He's a trained killer. And I do think when you put these 2 guys together, it becomes about the artillery and how good they are using it. And I'll just say, look, as much as I love John Wick, I think Rambo's going to have a lot more intense weaponry to play with that becomes a little unfair against John Wick. Again, Wick is great with what he's got, little sword, you know, his gun, all that jazz, but Rambo will pull out like an arrow with an exploding tip. He pulls out a Gatling gun. He pulls out, I mean, he sets traps. If you watch the last Rambo, I don't know. I think that Rambo's got a little bit of an edge here because of his background. So if these boys are going at it, I'd love to see this fight. But I think in the end, John Rambo might have a few things up his sleeve that could take down John Wick. Oh, that was a good one, man. Liam Neeson from Taken versus the bride from Kill Bill. You guys are good. Look, guys, I was supposed to make this a short show today. You guys are killing me. All right, I may have to just do a couple more. So don't list any more because I'm probably only going to get to do a couple more. So whatever is still in the pike here will affect what. Let's see what's the lowest. I'm not going to get to all these. So remember what you have if I have to cut it here in just after a couple more. All right. Up now is Liam Neeson from Taken versus the bride from Kill Bill. Oh my goodness. So look, one's got a special sort of skills. And of course, you've got the bride who is wicked with the sword. Pretty good with a gun too, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I mean, obviously, if you throw a sword in the bride's hand and one in Liam's hand, he's going to lose. I think he's just going to lose. But if you take the sword away so that they're more evenly matched with guns and hand-to-hand combat, I think Liam's special set of skills takes down the bride. As good as I think the bride is, Uma's great. She's good. She got that move that'll kill you. But he's got to allow her to hit him that many times in those spots without, breaking the cadence. If he can keep her from doing that, right? Get your fingers off me. Just done. If he can keep her away from doing that, I think his special set of skills might just take down the bride if she's missing her sword. If she's got her swords on her, I think Liam goes down. All right. Oh, you guys pay attention. The Born in the USA album versus Purple Rain. Man, oh man. You guys know how to push my buttons. Here comes the kill. All right, Born in the USA album versus Purple Rain. Two of my favorite albums of all time. I was shocked just how many hits come off of that Born in the USA album. It is a banger. Nearly 2/3 of that album came out as singles on the radio and all did very well. Purple Rain is also an all-time bestseller for Prince. Tons of songs off of that also hit the airwaves and topped the charts. Oh, but you know me. If you had to pick, one of my favorite albums of all time is Purple Rain. The song Purple Rain itself is one of my top 5 songs of all time. And I got to go with his purple badness, his royal purple badness. I have to go Prince with this one. So you picked a good battle, but knowing my history with Prince and just loving his discography, gotta go with Prince. It's a good one, y'all. Oh, and look at you. All right, I think we're gonna stop at the next one. All right, the next one after this. That'll be it. So you guys have to remember after this, because at 9:30 we gotta call it. Warner Brothers catalog versus Universal catalog. Gosh, dog, you guys, you know what to do. See, if you'd have picked anything else versus Paramount catalog, 20th Century Fox catalog, no, you picked the two most robust catalogs out there with Warner Brothers versus Universal. And that is tough because those are my two favorite studios. Hands down, they're my two favorite catalogs. I think I own more Universal and Warner Brothers titles in my collection than any other studio. Take that, David Ellison, with your Paramount that you're not doing anything with. But here they are. Here's the two powerhouses right here. Universal Studios, however, has a better theme park. Well, Warner's doesn't even have one. But if you're doing the studio tour, also Universal has a better tour. But we're not talking that. We're talking catalogs. All right, if I were to dig deep, and I'm just being honest, and I look around here, I see on my shelves that Warner Brothers logo popping off my shelf more than any other logo in here. So just for me, personally, in my domain right here, I know for a fact I have more Warner Brothers titles than Universal. So I'm going to have to say, and plus you get all the, DC comics in the Warner catalog and all that too, which I love. So I'm going to lean towards the Warner Brothers catalog. Irks out the Universal catalog by just a smidge. There you go. All right. And here we go with the last this versus that today. Beatles versus the Rolling Stones. Now, I do love both of these guys. It's funny because I was not a Beatles fan back in the day, but in the 2000s, I did a Beatles documentary called A Long and Winding Road, the story of the Beatles, or whatever it's called. It was a 5-part thing, but it was through a company that also didn't pay for the rights to use anything, so they went bankrupt, so you'll probably never see it. But I have the DVDs of it. And we also did a Rolling Stones documentary. Same thing happened. Guy used pictures that he wasn't supposed to. And I would say I like the greatest hits for both. They're kind of even for me. Like, these aren't my 2 favorite bands of all time, but I do love these 2 bands. But I guess pound for pound, song for song, I will roll with the Beatles on this one. Yeah. I mean, I like the Rolling Stones. They have a great 2-disc set of greatest hits, but ever since doing that documentary on the Beatles, there was something just about immersing myself into the songs and the culture. It just sort of won me over. It's sort of like Hitchcock. I was late to the game. I didn't care about the Beatles. I didn't care about Hitchcock. And then something happened to say, wake up, son. They got good stuff. And then they got good stuff. So they won me over. So, I mean, that said, I also have to pick, maybe who has one of my favorite songs. It actually is still the Beatles. Let It Be is also one of my top 5 songs. When you get in there, I've got like Under Pressure, Purple Rain, Let It Be. Those are in there in my top 3. I can't really think of the other 2 right now, but those are always in there when I think about my favorite songs. So the Beatles takes the win. All right, y'all, that is it. And Larry, yes, I'm a Beatles guy. Like, I'm a Beatles fan, but I don't go crazy and have a ton of Beatles stuff. I better be a Beatles guy. I'm so glad I picked the Beatles before I read all this stuff. Yeah, nope, can't do Beatles versus Hell. Yep. So yeah, I'm over it. Let's see. You said that a lot, Haas. Okay, I missed what that might be. Yes, I'm a huge Beatles fan too. I see your other this versus that. They're really good, y'all. Remember them for next week. Yes, Maria. Yeah, of course, Sisu. Yeah, it's a Finnish thing. I do know. See, I kind of wanted to pick Sisu for you, my girl. But I mean, would you pick Sisu over John Wick, being my Finnish friend? Or is John Wick still the character you prefer as well? Like if I just took locale out, I still kind of lean towards John Wick for the reasons I picked. But I do like the fun factor of the Sisu movies. Maybe if he's got a couple more, I could be swayed. Oh, as I'm asking, too violent. Yeah. Dude, and I'm with you too. I actually haven't seen the second one either, so that's another reason Wick pulled out the W. Yeah, gotta be Wick. All right, let's see. I know I'm skipping past your this versus that. Abbey Road. All right, you guys, these are great. Oh, you guys are so good. Oh, look at you loving My Guitar Gently Weeps. Yeah, it's a great song. Nice. Do you really? You have the Long and Winding Road box set? You got it before they pulled them all? Because they were out on the market. You just had to buy them before they got pulled. If it's a 5-part series and you get to the second disc and it's about George Harrison and who do they do? Like, because they had like a few editors on each show. So I did the second and the 5th or whatever it was. So I edited both of those. So if it's the same set, because there might be a couple of documentaries, called the same thing. It is a pretty popular title. But if you have the right one, my name will be at the end credits as the editor for that thing. Thank you, my friend. You guys make it awesome here. You're awesome, man. Thank y'all. Everybody have a good day. Eli Cortez, man. Don't forget to slash that like button. Yeah, man. Thanks, buddy. Good to see you. As always. All right, we're just going to call it. You guys are great. There's a ton of you there. But look, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. 9:30 on the dot. I got to roll, but thanks, everybody, for always being here and making these things fun for me to do. You give me tons to talk about. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I hope it wasn't a slugfest for anybody. Hope you had fun. And we'll do this again next week. So until next time, Bob, and this is not going to go very smoothly, but let's do it anyway. Let's show them the members, the cafe members. Here we go. Good luck. Bye, y'all. See you next
Cafe
week.
members for their support. And if you'd like to be a cafe member to help support the channel, please consider hitting that join button.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming by and sharing your time with me. So until next time, be safe, be kind. We'll see you on the next one.